So I just wanted to hop right in. I'm in Songwriters Camp. We just talk about your latest single, what's coming up, all that fun stuff. For Heaven Angel, like where did the idea come from? Let's just start there.
Is basically a freestyle rap. I'm not even kidding you. That might sound like a joke, but I'm not kidding.
No.
I was like freestyle rapping with my acoustic guitar in this living room, and
let's get the vibe.
we'll just recreate it for you.
This is what happened.
Yeah, please just take us through the process.
Yeah, wait.
It's like. Oh my dear, could you look better? Come a long way from heaven, angel. And then Rocky came out of nowhere.
I was in the
like-
studio.
He was like, "Yo, that song's tight," and I was like, "Yeah, bro." And then he went back to the studio,
And I started freestyling,
and then, yeah,
basically with instruments.
and then that's where the bass line came from, and the drum. And then we sat on it for like a year.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna ask. So
20 of the songs.
when was this made?
2018, 2019.
No,
Oh, wow.
I mean, no. It's
2019
to me,
probably.
it's like it probably like we probably had like a oh cool, that's like finished. Probably like right. I bet yeah, it's end of 2019, probably.
That's you kind of gotta
But-
let it's like growing a plant. You kind of gotta let it flower.
Yeah, like you'll go through times where you're like, all right, cool, like you want to work on something else, and in your mind it's done, and then you'll like open it again. You're like, oh, cool, let's fuck with this, whatever, change it.
So did you guys consciously like release this, like wait on it and want to release this one first as like a preview of the album?
It wasn't ever like, oh, let's like not put that out or let's put that out.
Mhm.
It kind of is just like, oh, we're still just working on other music. Like we
Yeah.
just kind of like that. Like there's a lot of songs like that actually that just kind of exist and we usually just like we just keep going. We just keep writing. Like that's just kind of what it is.
But the decision of release this one first actually came from our team because we always like to follow wherever the excitement, wherever excitement is from.
Yeah.
And this song seemed to generate some excitement within our team, and we just wanted to run with it, and that's why this one came out first. But we're really excited for all the rest of the album to come out. We think that there's some really unique songs on there.
Is there a song in particular that you guys are excited for the fans to hear or to perform live?
I think honestly all of them for different reasons, because they all stand on their own, but are also cohesive on the record. So we're really excited.
There's a track called
Number One Fan.
no, oh okay, well I think that's sick too. But there's another track called Crazy Baby that I've been having fun with recently.
Oh yeah, Crazy Baby's gonna be sick.
And was this entire album made during like quarantine?
No, kind of after quarantine.
Yeah, it's like half and half almost.
I feel like during quarantine we were mostly just reading books and playing chess.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was. It's like half and half, like because there are some songs that we put out a little bit during quarantine and whatnot that we also are throwing on this album. So it's like there's a little bit of that, and then there also is there also are songs that like we had just finished right after deadline, and it's like cool.
Mhm.
Like so there's like
So
probably
is
4 or 5
Fade one of
songs.
those songs that will be on the actual album?
Good.
And what comes with like, I mean, you guys' songwriting has evolved like a lot from writing for R5 to the first album, which Repeating Days, greatest song ever, by the way. Just need to throw that out
Yeah,
there.
let's go.
To the first album, to the second album, like how have you changed, evolved, like where inspirations have they changed along the way?
Oh yeah, I feel like I mean, I think people change every day. So yeah, definitely our whole world has changed. Our inspirations have changed. Even our relationships between me and him has grown to different levels. And I feel like our consciousness has taken huge leaps and bounds through quarantine because we've been reading so much.
Yeah.
So just
It's almost like it's not so much of like, oh, my taste has been changing, but I think we just become a little more honest with ourselves, and and just a little more quicker to quicker to be like, okay, cool, hey, like this is like, say we just like mess with the song, like you can do a lot of harm almost to that song of just like spinning around on it for years. You can, and people do that. I guarantee you that's that's probably the number one problem most like songwriters and whatnot, is they're just like instead of allowing like this moment to be a thing and then and going with it, there's so much that that you kind of can get lost in. And I feel like we're just a little bit more, we're just a little more accurate with
what's actually happening.
Yeah, with like, hey, you know what? We like it this way. And it's like, and you just kind of know that now. And you're kind of like, there's no point to be like, let's try this 25 ways. It's like, no, that's the way.
Well, we like to talk about too, all the ways that songwriting has, all the things that songwriting has taught us, because really, like, it's a kind of a weird job, and it really expands your mind in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And we really think that songwriting has taught us a lot of really valuable lessons in life, and kind of opened up certain doors to like spirituality and honestly like connection between people.
It's a meditation.
Straight
up.
If you're doing it right, if you're and a big part of that is getting out of your own way, like Rocky's talking about.
So when you are writing, how do you know that a song is done and you're content with the way it's come out?
Well, there's kind of, a song's kind of never done.
Yeah.
And then, but it'll also let you know that it's ready to go. Like you'll always want to tinker with it forever and ever. But there comes a time where it's like, all right, well, it's got to go. You just got to let it go.
Yeah, you just kind of like there's like two, like he almost started saying this, but there's like two ways. There's like sometimes you get to a point where you're like, oh, like you want to hold on to it. You want to keep messing with it. You want it to be better. It's your baby. It's your love. You know what I'm just like? That's just. I think I've heard. I think I heard Jay-Z say something funny like that recently, or like in an interview where he's like, every time someone's going in to make an album, they're like, this got to be my best album. And so there's like so much that you as a creative, as an artist, whatever, you can kind of put on yourself, and you can create this like giant ass burden that doesn't really exist to begin with. But so if you're in that place, sometimes you can kind of be like, wait, there's more I can do to this song. Like like me personally, I'm always the guy that's like, oh shit, how's the low end? I gotta make sure the low end's right. Like I don't know why. And so I've recently been like super nitpicky about that. But
Rocky's like a little engineer. Like
that's
one of his strengths is like he's like really smart with engineering.
I like that side of things. Like I just got a PC because I was like, you know what, I feel like I can go somewhere with this. And I haven't used a PC for so long, but I was like, let's see where this gets me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like Ross said, I do like. I just growing up, I kind of liked more technical sides of things. So I also like that when it comes to audio, which is why I'm like, where's the low end? More low end, always more bass. But when, like you were wondering, when there is a point with a song where it's like like we were just messing with a song yesterday, or we were like bumping like 3 new songs we've been messing with yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and the whole time in the studio, I'm just like, yo, it's done. So like you kind of always, there is a point where you're like, yo, it's done. There's no like you know that.
Yeah.
And you can kind of find yourself in either place occasionally, honestly.
When you guys are writing together, do you find that you have different styles or the same styles or different in a way that complement each other, like when you're in the studio?
I've thought about this a lot, actually. I think that there's so there's this concept of like a shared consciousness, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of a complex idea, so I'm gonna try and keep it brief. There's sometimes Rocky will write a song and it'll feel very much like Rocky, and there's sometimes that I will write a song and it'll feel very much like me. But
Mm-hmm.
when we're intertwined in our process, you almost don't feel any of those. You don't feel the individual.
Yeah, it's like
It's there's the connection that makes it unique to even our own individual creations. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's also been something we just started on this album that's coming out, and we've been doing it a little more, but we now, for some reason, we used to kind of just write, and it would be it would just be like, hey, one person's kind of doing the top line, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's a much when we are in that state, all right, we're both writing. Now we just kind of,
It's so playful.
yeah, it's like
It's so playful because we'll just whatever we hear on the song, we'll do. Like we're both singing on the songs.
well, that's what I was about.
We're both doing
Yeah.
drum loops.
Yeah.
We're both doing guitar solos.
Yeah,
Like it's a very playful experience now, and I like it a lot.
yeah, where we're at now is like when we get to that most super accurate, honest representation of however like I am feeling and he is feeling, and we join that and we decide to make a song. It usually now it's, oh, we're both just in there vibing, and we're both like, hey, I have this part, and then there's like this part that we put in, and it's like, oh, whoa, that's, we like that.
Mm-hmm.
So now on a couple of these songs, honestly the best represent, like I like to just say this because I think it's funny, but it's like Brockhampton. It's just like, oh, I got this part, let me just hop on and flow it, and we just do it. And we did that all the time with like whether it was like a guitar part, synth. It's like, you know what I mean? One of us was just like, oh, this thing, I'm doing this, and I like this, and we put it down.
Yeah.
And now we just evolve that to the entire song, where it's like, hey, yo, we just throw a part in now. And it's like Ross was saying, it's a lot more free. It's a lot more. It's just the most accurate, honest representation of like, hey, here's music, because you're not going through like, you're not, okay. If 3 people are gonna write a top line for one person, it's like a bunch of these like ideas and energies and stuff come like for that one person to like say, rather than like, here's this thing, and we're like recording it right then and there. It's like you can't get any like up close and personal.
And what do you guys what do you attribute to that? I mean, just being like honest and open with one another, or spending so much time together, or growing up together, perhaps, like
all that
bond was always there.
But it's more with yourself than it is with because we've always been comfortable. We've always been obviously brothers. We've lived with each other forever. But it's more about like kind of daring to suck, and just it's more about within yourself.
Yeah,
it's like less inner relationship.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So you can do it in a room full of people. You know, we really like our process because we've been doing it for a really, really long time, and we've seemingly ironed out a lot of wrinkles. So it's getting faster and closer to its spawn, which is when it's at its purest. We think when it's like falling out of your mouth, the words and the melody, and it's almost happening to you, and then you're recording it at that moment. Is where we think the authenticity is coming from.
Would you say that happened with this second album? Did it just pour out of you guys?
Most of the songs that we've released are that way.
Yeah,
you know, and sometimes we'll get in our own ways, and we'll go through a dry period where we can't get in the flow. But for the most part, our songs are from that place.
It's kind of funny because it almost always pours out of you. Because even if let's say you have a song, and you're like, here's like this part, and it happens, and then you sit on that song for a year, the pouring out still was immediate. And say you come back to the song and decide to be like, oh, let me do this thing. When you're like, let me do this thing, you decide to do it. It still is immediate. And it still is. It still is like there and right then and so it almost always is that. This is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But because we have been, again, like Ross said, just kind of honing in that process and that craft, like we actually. And we tend to talk a lot of like, I got some albums coming out, or like we say that because it is, and then it doesn't. Sometimes things change, but like legit, we're probably gonna have another album coming out before the year's up after this, so we ain't messing around.
Yeah. Is that gonna come out before your guys' tour?
It probably will. It'll probably be something where it's like, you know, maybe like one or two of the songs are like on their way out, like as like that's happening. It still is a little early in that because we're tying up a couple other things before that is tied up. But yeah, that is like legit. That's the goal, and I don't see us not reaching that goal because I think that's otherwise it would suck.
We just started this house beat, and it's so exciting. I literally when we made it, I was in my bed and my foot was thumping. I was trying to go to sleep, but my foot just kept thumping and I couldn't get it out of my head.
Like a bunny.
Those are the moments that we live for. Yeah. Like Rocky said earlier on, it's like you like when you are in a state of love.
Yeah.
And you're like going through the motions and you're just like, but you're like it's love. It's crazy. Those are the best moments.
Oh, I thought he was going to be in his underwear again.
Film Vader real quick. He looks so... Oh, never mind.
He was peeping right.
He was sleeping a second.
He's such a good dog.
Hey,
not
Vader.
barking or anything.
Oh.
Oh, my God. Caught up in dog now. So after the album comes out, you guys, what are your next steps when you're performing live? Do you take into consideration where you are? What are the fans going to react to? Well, like, have you guys, I mean, you've toured all over the world by now. So do you have an idea of what city is going to react to this sound or what city is going to react to this sound?
We actually, honestly, have kind of still been cooped up in the studio, so we haven't been putting much thought into the tour quite yet.
It's kind of one of those things where it's like every city seems to like have a good reaction. Like not necessarily, I don't know, not trying to be biased, but like if you know you go to like this new fun happening city and the venue is either sold out or like 90%, you're gonna have a lively environment. You're gonna have energy. You're gonna have that. There's a lot to be exchanged in those couple hours, and so it's almost inevitable to have this to have something great and some like you're saying like a reaction to two songs and stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, our shows are really exciting.
We like to have some fun.
We like to get the crowd like jumping and grooving and moving. And and then in return that feeds our energy, and it's like this exchange of excitement, and that's how we like it for sure. We like it to be rowdy.
Yeah.
Is that something you guys take into consideration when you are writing your music? Like, this is going to be a good one to perform live, or is that kind of an afterthought?
We're considering that more now than ever, I think, because we've been caught on tour. Well, our older brother Riker, who plays bass, is always
he's an
urging
BPM
us.
freak.
He's urging us to just make some like pop freaking fast songs,
which we do.
Which we do, but we're putting that more into consideration.
Yeah,
recently.
there is like almost like a if like you like when we go into making music, there usually isn't like a we should do something like this, and then we do.
Yeah.
It's usually just like it's a happening. It's just like here it is. But recently, and from time to time, we'll be like, let's do like some fast shit. So that probably is like if there's a common like starting point from with like what we've been wanting more of and on the road and on tour and stuff, it's like hell yeah, we always want some more speed. And the song he's talking about that
I couldn't sleep.
It's 128, so it's like it's literally
it's like a club.
Yeah,
it's a club banger.
That's literally dance BPM. That you can't sit down for that.
Like it should be a DJ making the song.
This is how it feels. So.
Okay, so let's get into some fan questions.
What is
your favorite song from X?
Oh, sick. Shout out 2 years, right? Crazy. Favorite song? Oh, I actually think I like Welcome to Your Life, probably just because it's like I still think I've heard many similar songs.
Yeah, that song's really we definitely pride ourselves on our uniqueness, because there's a lot of songs, honestly, that I don't think I've heard before, especially on this new record. Actually, like this song, there's a song called "Number One Fan" that I don't think I've ever heard a song like it, which is really exciting for us. I that's kind of what we strive for. But I'd have to say on X, Welcome to the End of Your Life is pretty unique. It's got tempo changes, and like the music video is really crazy too. I really like that song. Scared of Heights was one of my favorites. I think San Francisco was a really cool song. It's the time signature is like 7/8.
Yeah.
So it doesn't do like a complete time signature. It like interrupts itself. So I think that song's really cool too for a lot of reasons. I don't know if I have a favorite though.
Yeah.
What are you guys most excited to perform on tour?
That's new 128.
Yeah. Yeah, because people are gonna just be jumping.
Honestly, yeah. That Heaven Angel would be pretty sick. That's got BPM. I think some of these there's a couple other tracks that I think some fans probably maybe have, like some kind of have like some leaks out there, but there's another one called Heart of Mine that I think is that'll probably be sick by it.
Yeah, someone just asked when that one's coming out.
That's probably gonna be with the whole record.
Yeah. That is on this album.
But that's a lot of people's favorites. In our close circle, that's a lot of favorites. A lot of people like that one a lot.
And what music video were you guys most excited to record?
I think for me, Places, because
that was fun.
I got to be behind the camera, so I didn't have to worry about what I looked like. I didn't even have to brush my teeth if I wanted to. I did, but I didn't have to. And it's really fun for me to be just in a lot of different positions. I've spent a lot of time on sets just throughout my career.
Yeah.
So kind of like getting to be like more of a director was really fun.
Yeah, honestly, I thought Places was fun. Heaven Angel leading up to it was fun because I initially was trying to, or I was in charge of going to pick up that car,
Mhm.
and it just took a long time. And so I was like cruising down Hollywood in rush hour, and it was like a nice lead up to it. So it kind of made me excited for the rest of the day.
Put you in the mindset.
Yeah.
And where did the idea for that music video come from?
We were
If Ryland's still here, you'd be like, hey,
yeah, wherever Ryland is. For a long time, everyone was like, "Hey guys, we need a video for this. We need a video for this." And we were brainstorming for quite some time. And then one day we just like went down to like the boulevard that we live by, and just like got some lunch and finally brainstormed and came up with this like ballerina idea, because the song to us feels like you're being mesmerized.
Yeah.
And we thought that the ballerina out of nowhere in this party environment was a good way to represent the song visually. But yeah, it was just like a random lunch where we finally got together and brainstormed.
And how do you decide what songs get music videos and which ones don't?
A lot of it has to do with inspiration. Some songs just, even when we're writing them, it's like, whoa, I see this, there's a whole video just like going on in my head. I think we should do it, kind of thing. Or it's like management's like, yo, guys, we need a video for this one. Make it happen.
Yeah.
And honestly, we would love to do many, many more videos. We love doing videos. We have a really cool team, which is us, Ryland, and our cousin Gordy. And we honestly have a great time doing them, and we hope to do a lot more of them.
And what's your favorite lyric from Heaven Angel?
That one.
Why can't you fly, my heaven angel, I think, is my favorite lyric.
Ooh, let me just fucking...
Why can't you fly, my heaven angel?
Oh,
Someone
I
asked.
that can't
Yeah. That part's
sick.
sick. And then the beat comes back in, like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The production on that one, again, is like, that's a wild production. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of different influences happening and a lot of different textures. I think that's unique. That song's pretty
Did you
cool.
have influences from current pop culture that went into that
influence
song?
that one?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think at times, like, when a song like is starting to round itself out, and it's like, it's getting to a point like, hey, okay, like this is like what it's gonna sound like. Sometimes you're like, oh, sick, it has this like some 70s funk stuff. It has like some maybe you'd be like some bluesy stuff, or like, there's pop things you could reference, but going into it, we never really like, hey, let's get some, like, so that song that we like heard, let's like get something like that. You'll never hear us say that ever, because it's
because we've been in sessions and they say that. We're just like,
yeah, it's like, what? Why would you want to recreate that person's song? Where's your, like, what?
Yeah.
Where's the fun? So again, going into it, I don't think you'll get that out of us, but as like the end result, I think it's easy for us to be like, oh yeah, here's where this could, here's where this could fit in with these other genres of music and like other artists and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure. Like after the fact, we'll be like, oh, this has a Nirvana vibe, or like, this reminds me of Pink Floyd or whatever.
Yeah.
And to end on a random note, what's your guys' go-to karaoke song?
We just were talking about that.
I try to say goodbye. Honestly, that's more.
Are you guys gonna do a duet?
Yeah, I mean,
You guys gonna do a duet for your karaoke song?
There's a dude. We had a good karaoke trip in we were in Japan and we went to karaoke, and one of the dudes on our Japanese label, like, this is like a couple years back, sang the entire Bohemian Rhapsody, and it was like something special.
He was like working us
That's
up to
intense.
it. He was like, he's like, I sing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh yeah,
He was
like
that's my
his
song.
other coworkers were like, dude, like they was like,
Yeah.
That's not an easy one to just pull off.
No.
I
But
mean,
I
that's
think he
a
does it
long
like every
one
time he
too.
goes.
Yeah.
Perfecting it.
It was nice. I want to see it again.
And to wrap it up, like, what do you guys hope fans will respond to when your album releases? Like, what are you hoping from the fan responses?
They always blow us away, honestly. They're always so supportive, and they're always just like, honestly, I feel like our fans are the dopest.
Yeah.
They're literally always dope.
The fans got like some crazy insight that it's like, I don't know. There's something that, especially like the people that have been around for a second and have seen almost everything, or like heard everything, seen like, I don't know. There's something special there too. Is all I'm saying. Because
do you take that feedback into consideration when you're writing your next album?
Yeah, it's actually helping create inspiration. When the fans have great responses, like, because they're responding to Heaven Angel right now, and it's honestly blowing me away. It's like really great. It's really great to have a positive response. And it fuels further inspiration. So like, honestly, guys, thanks so much.
It 100%. It goes a long way. Honestly.
Oh yeah,
it goes a long way.
And then seeing everybody on tour and having them all sing the songs and stuff, and honestly, we've been touring for so long now that we see people we've known for like years. It's like seeing old friends. Like, so I'm really excited to like see all my friends and go singing and jumping around with them. And like, there's this group of girls that on the East Coast, they literally just follow us down the coast. So
Crazy.
Like, I'm excited to see y'all. You know?
Yeah, it's been a hot second. We need live music back for sure.
Us too.
Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, thanks for talking to us.
I look forward to the album and the tour.
Jessica?
Yes.
Oh!
Good job, Rocky.
Hey, thanks for talking with us, and have a good one.
You too.
Thank you, Jessica.
Bye.
Peace, y'all. Thanks for tuning in.